During the Yalta and Potsdam conferences, it was agreed that Germany would split into 4 zones controlled by the USA, UK, France, and the Soviet Union. Berlin, the capital city that was located deep inside the Soviet zone, was also divided into 4 sectors. This made the capital city a western island of capitalism surrounded by communism, which posed a problem for Stalin. Stalin feared that it would make communism look bad, because the capitalist zones were prospering and improving quicker than the communist zones. In 1947, the British and American zones merged to form Bizonia, aiming for economic self-sufficiency. They were joined later in 1949 by the French zone, which created Trizonia. In 1948, the Americans and British introduced a new currency called the Deutsche Mark to replace the worthless Reichsmark, backed by the US dollar to stabilize the Western economy. This could have severely damaged the Eastern economy, as people were trying to urgently exchange currency. The decisions on zones and introduction of new currency were decided upon without Stalin, which he saw as breaking a rule agreed at the conferences, further causing tension. As a response to the Western decisions, on June 24, 1948, Stalin ordered the Berlin blockade, closing all road, rail, and canal access to West Berlin to try and stop the Western Allies getting any supplies to their zones. This left West Berlin with only 6 weeks of supplies and a decision to make. Stalin was making an attempt to force the Western Allies to abandon the city and leave it to become totally communist. This could not be allowed, as communist control of the capital could have led to total communist control of Germany. The Western Allies responded with the Berlin airlift, known as Operation Vittles. There were 3 air corridors that were previously agreed upon by all sides, and the Americans, British, and French used these to their advantage. Supplies were flown into the city, with a plane landing every 3 minutes at its peak. By the end of the airlift, 2 million tons of supplies had been given to West Berlin, and up to 8,000 tons per day at its height. While Stalin tried one last desperate attempt to force the West to surrender by cutting electricity, he knew he had failed and ended the blockade in May 1949, defeated by the Allies' determination and fearing war with the nuclear-armed USA.